Alright everybody, welcome back. As you see, I didn't start without you. I wouldn't if I could. Uh, and as I said, don't expect to see a victory, just expect to watch some bad luck happen. And try to guess exactly what's going to happen. Think the worst case scenario, and then watch it actually get applied. It's actually kind of fun. It's like you're psychic. You get to feel like a psychic for a moment. So, I do it all the time. It makes me feel like I'm a genius because I sit here and I predict how badly I'm going to lose by just thinking the absolute worst case scenario. Boom. Also know that I will not be running stuff that is essential for the board to succeed on my field ever. That will not be happening. I refuse to go that route ever again. No matter how much I want to entertain you guys, you will have to throw it in the comments to please just throw the game for us so we can see just how bad this can get. Little Miss Death Rattle Chick 1-7 that makes it to where every Death Rattle doubles. She will not be on my field again unless you guys make me put her on my field again. Soul Juggler. Unless I got a triple right off the bat and I've got nothing but taunts, will not be on my field again. And even then, I really don't want to put it on my field again.
Are you ready?
I won't be doing Wrathweaver if I can help it. Demons have not been my best, and I'm not really wanting to go that route again. But, I mean, I'll try. If somebody complains enough, I'll go for it. You know, put it in the comments. Tell me what deck you want me to go for out, honestly. The one with the most likes, the comment, each and every deck type, and the one with the most likes is the one I will try to run next for you guys, just to humor you. But now back to what I was saying, the Blizzard. Drop rates. The drop rate issue is one of the biggest problems. Because at this point, I've gotten to the point where I've been playing on and off for over 10 years now. And I've spent more time without than I have with because of the drop rates. I've gotten to a point after like 4 years of playing straight, I came to the conclusion that this game isn't worth the heartache that I'm putting into it. That the idea of having to sit here and try so hard, get my hopes up for a drop that I really want, just for it to never happen, is just too much for me to bear. I just rather not even try anymore and just give up on the game as a whole. I am a collector. I love to collect things. My house is a mess because I collect things all the time and don't know how to get rid of anything. I am a hoarder. I'm the same way in the video game. My mailbox is constantly full. My bank is constantly full. My bags, I only work with one bag because the other 5 bags are completely simple. So, at that point, that's what I do. I collect. And I want to collect as many things as I want. And I love dragons, obviously. But there's things I'm trying to get in-game that I cannot get in-game because it's almost impossible to collect it in-game. Such as, like, the mount collecting prize. Like, you have to collect so many mounts to make it happen. And if you fail, you're just failing. And it seems like the number keeps going up. Like, the Mount-tacular, I think, is what it is for to get, like, the green Phoenix bird. But just to be going through, as I said before, I go fight the Lich King. Like, when I do have a subscription, I'll go up there and I'll just fight the Lich King for an hour just for fun. And I do try for Invincible. When it's all said and done with, I love Invincible. I would love to get that mount. The number 1 mount I have even got into World of Warcraft for in the first place was the Headless Horseman. And I know a lot of you people will understand the second I said that. Y'all know exactly what I'm about to be talking about here. The fact that for 10 plus years I have tried for the Headless Horseman mount. I have made sure I've gotten a subscription every Halloween to try for the Headless Horseman mount. And I've sat there 1 year in particular. I remember it clear as day. A friend of my girlfriend's was sitting in this house with us, playing this game with us. And happened to be Headless Horseman mount finally dropped. But for her. Been trying for years. Could not get it. Did not change this time. There's no mechs, is there? There's no mech, so we can't even do the rabbit. I should have looked at that. So we're gonna just move on. We're gonna not stay on 2 like I was originally planning to do. We're gonna move on up. But the drop rate is so ridiculous on this, but newcomers come in there. I play in the Firelands. I was doing that constantly because there's 2 mounts in there. There's battle pets to be gotten. There was cool weapon designs for transmogging. So everything about it said go in there. Plus, I was making gold like crazy in there. So it was a good, fun place to go play around in. Got a little repetitive with the guy repeating himself all the time. But, you know, whatever. I did what I did. And it worked for what it needed to work for. Let's do this. We're going to show how annoying this can get. Do I want to triple it? Do I really want to triple it? I don't want to triple it, but I'm going to triple it just because I can. Let's get it. Come on. Game slow.
Hey, a triple.
Right there. Let's see what we can get as a 3-star. Oh. Love it. Dreams do come true. So. Nothing there we want, so we're not going to save that. So what we're seeing here is that the drop rates are so ridiculous. There is a lucky draw, seems to be, for newcomers. I've done the Firelands 20, 30 times, and I've gotten 1 mount out of it. The friend of a friend comes in here to our house, hooks up her laptop, plays with us, goes through the raid, because we had to do the kneeling trick to get all the achievements in the place. She walks away with the mount I'm after. That I've been doing this raid for 30 plus times at this point. And then turns around the next week, because we failed to do it the first time, does it again. The exact same mount. I'm like, you're killing me here, Smalls. You got the mount that I've been after for 30 plus raids twice now. At this time, I didn't even know there was a second mount in this raid. I only knew about that one. That killed me. Because I'm like, dude, I try so hard. I come in here all the time. And I could not walk out of here with this mount. You came in here for the very first time and you got it without even having to try. Disheartening. It really, it gives you a headache to think about it. I know it gives me a headache to think about it. So, these drop rates, is my point, is the drop rates are just ridiculously too high for what you got going on in here. You need to bring those things down a notch. And what I was saying is how you can make money and do the drop rates. You put an item in your in-game shop that is it increases your luck. That's what you say, but essentially all it is you have a token basically, you activate it, and what it does is it lets you go into your menus for your dungeons and your raids. Find an item, which could be one of the mounts, whatever, and you literally highlight it. And what it will be is every time you run that dungeon or that raid or that instance or whatever it is that you're doing, that in particular item will, if you failed to get it, it will increase the drop rate by a percentage. Like, it does not have to go up by 5 points. But if it's already at 0.01 or some crap like that, increasing it to a 1% drop rate is not unsavory at the end of the day. That's all I'm saying on this. I think that if it was at point, it could increase by 1 point literally every time you do the dungeon. It might still take you 15 runs to get what you're after, but you will eventually get it, and you don't have to feel like there's no hope, which has been the problem so far. It's like, it feels like like you're laughing at your customers. Like they're coming in here and you're just getting off on their anguish. And we're going to get rid of the cannons now, because I think the cannons are not going to really work as we're getting health for our minions in here. So there's no point in keeping that. We're going to buff this guy. We don't need this no more because we actually will have. And even though I know I shouldn't do this, I'm going to. We're going to get him next. But, because we're not keeping him. Pirates do. But, we're going Murlocs now. What I'm trying to, especially, I mean, we get battle cries guaranteed. We're going to do that. We're going to do Murlocs. But, it encourages people to keep playing when they have hope. Yeah, I don't mind running this dungeon 15 times if I only have to run it 15 times. And I know that there's a max cap at some point. As it is right now, I don't bother buying a subscription anymore because I have tried for the Huntsman mount, the Invincible mount, the Headless Horseman's mount. I don't even know what it's called. I just know it as the Headless Horseman's mount. And I just got the Ashes of Alar just before I gave up my subscription last time. But the on Onyxia mount, all these mounts I have been trying for for years, and only recently did I actually get one. So I'm like, okay, at this point, this has gone beyond ridiculously levels of too long. It's about time that we go ahead and give up on that and decide to go with something new. And that's where I'm standing at now, where it's like, you know what? I've decided I don't really want to waste my money on this game no more at this point. I would rather just go on ahead and find a new hobby than to play World of Warcraft anymore at this point. And it's sad that it's come to that point, that I would rather just like get rid of the game altogether, because I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm never going to get what I'm fighting for. So what is the point? Why should I bother paying money for something that I'm never going to get? Like, would you pay to maybe get to watch a movie? Do you go to a movie theater, give them $15 and hope you get to sit in the right movie theater? No. You pay to go watch that movie. You went to go see the Avengers. You didn't want to sit down and watch Raising Miss Daisy's daughter. Like, that is the furthest from what you was aiming for there. You wanted action, not some sassy little underage girl that's been pampered her whole life. Like, come on. So, I don't even know if that's a real movie, but it probably will become one now because it's been mentioned. But, that's what the situation is. You got to see it from our point of view at this point, where that's how it feels. It feels like I'm paying to be able to become the most powerful character as I can, and instead, I am a background character. I pay you $15 is a pretty decent chunk of money. I know a lot of people are like, that's not really that much money, honestly. You're just kind of being a baby about it. I mean, some of us actually have money. You talk about having a job, but yeah, I do talk about having a job because I do have a job. I do work hard, and I don't really feel like I'm getting my money's worth at this game. So yeah, talk as much junk as you want, but at the end of the day, that really is my concern on this thing. And it's like, do you want to know why you stopped getting my subscription each month? That's why. It's because somebody else has talked you into spending all your time and effort into making it impossible for me to get what I play for. I can't get none of the mounts I want, which means I can't get to my Killtacular that I want, or the Mountacular achievement that I want. And now that you're doing a level squish, you're making it to where I can't go back and even do these 5 dungeons I do back to back every single week when I am paying for it. Like, I spend my 3 hours a night, every single night, I'm having to choose. Do I run through the other dungeons, or do I run that one Firelands raid? Then after that's all said and done with, do I play in the new area, or do I go run the old places again to try to get something else cool? And that's what it is. Like, I only get so many hours a day. I have to pick and choose what I'm going to go do. So, why am I being punished for that? Why can't I get access to things I couldn't access before? Especially because it's not like there's a giant announcement that lets you know, hey, this is only here for like 2 days. Make this happen. One of those examples for that one actually is a buddy of mine. He's actually my best friend. He got what is it called? It's a 2-headed fire dog, and it was in the Firelands. And it was only apparently a weekend event. We got a green version of it now for Warriors from Legion expansion. But originally, the fire one could only be gotten in that event. And the problem with that event was it wasn't announced in any way that I know of. Because I never heard about it before he showed up with the mount. And I'm like, dude, where'd you get that? And he's like, yeah, I got it from the Firelands at this time. I was like, okay, so let's go run into the Firelands. He's like, it won't be there now because it was only there for that weekend event. Well, I didn't know about the weekend event. Yeah, they didn't announce it. Well, then how is that fair? Like, how does that work for those of us who wants it now? We can't get it because we didn't know about the event. Like, I understand this is just coming off as complaining, but that's something that discourages me from paying you anymore because you hid stuff. Only a handful of people got to get it. He doesn't even use the mount. It just sits in his inventory. I understand I'm collecting mounts and I don't use most of them either. But, so why does it hurt? Why is it so difficult to get one then? Your Brontosaurus right now, it is 100 million, 10 million. I don't remember how much gold it is. And it's going to go away forever. Why make it go away forever? Why not make it go away for a couple of years and then put it in your in-game shop to buy with real gold for about how much it would have been to spend it in the to buy it with real gold as it is right now? Because literally somebody could go spend $100 and buy it right now. Like, why not? Why not make it that? It's a rare mount as it is. People have to pay out the butt for it. They can't get it in the game no more. Boom, there you go. If they do, it's because they exchanged gold for cash in the game and everything, but I don't even know if you can do that yet. But right now, it's not as easy to get. Or right now, it's easier to get because it's right there in the in-game shop right there. It's available for everybody to go for it. So it makes more sense to do it right now. It doesn't take it away from the people who've already earned it. It just means it makes an excuse for somebody to keep paying, especially into your in-game shop and giving you guys money to get something that's as awesome as that mount. That makes it to where you can have an auction house wherever you are. Not to mention the mount looks cool. And then you got these little beasties out there that are, if you kill it, you get a drop rate. And they're just random mobs that are running around. But they only spawn in once a week, sometimes less than that. And they don't even have a guaranteed drop of it, but it's like that rare. So why has it got to be that way whenever you know that there's people who set up bots? You already know that's an issue you have with your game is bots. They set their minions to literally wait until this thing shows up, and then it spam kills it. Not to mention with add-ons makes it even easier for these people who run add-ons. It just tells them, hey, this guy spawned in there. Boom, go for it. Like, you're rewarding the people who are screwing everybody else out of it.
You're doing great.
And that's not really fair at the end of the day. So either break the soul binding on stuff for like the people who got the mount twice and they can only have one. It's soul bound. You can't sell it. Okay, well, I want the mount. I don't care. I did the dungeon run. Just because I wasn't lucky, I didn't earn it. I mean, explain that when it's all said and done with. Well, I earned it. No, you didn't. You got lucky. I've done time walk dungeons and not gotten that dragon mount. I don't even know what the name of that dragon anymore is. But I did the time walk dungeons and I didn't get my dragon. Other people got it. I did everything they did. So why did I not earn it what they did? You can't explain that because it's not a matter of earning it. It's a matter of luck. So the people who are complaining that they earned it and everybody else didn't have to earn it, they just got it given to them, doesn't know what they're talking about because that's not the case here. You got lucky. It's literally a game of luck. And it shouldn't be that. It should never come down to who's the luckiest player. That does not feed into anybody properly. Okay, we gotta do something here because this isn't looking good. We're looking at a triple here, so I don't want to lose that. But I think we're gonna have to. So we're gonna sell this. I know what you're thinking. I know it hurts. Not alone. Sell this one. Let's buy this one. I don't want to buff this one's health, so we're gonna put this one down. Take this because that's literally our only hope of surviving this next fight. This bad boy down right here. Boom. And then pray. Pray with me, guys. But, and that's the whole thing. See, that's the whole, like, instead of answering everybody's complaints with, oh, right here, let's nerf. All right, here, let's take away. All right, here, let's make it harder. Let's stop looking at it like that and start looking at it as, let's just explain what's wrong with what they're asking for. Or, let's buff. People didn't like the way the Shadow Priest played, so you nerfed it. People didn't like the way Death Knights played, so you nerfed it. People didn't like the way Ice Mage was played, you nerfed it. Like, everything is, your answer to everything is somebody's complaining about something, nerf it. Unless it's one of those races that you really seem to like. Hunters. For the life of me, I do not understand how a hunter has not been nerfed as bad as anybody else. Druids are ridiculous. To be able to shift there, oh yeah, we couldn't even take fourth, which kind of sucks, right? But to be able to shift seamlessly and basically have infinite health, I've watched a druid come into Stormwind and had like 9 to 10 players trying to jump him and couldn't kill him. Then they got just as good of stealth as a rogue at the end of the day because they was literally beating us to death by turning invisible super fast. Like, what are you supposed to be able to do against something like that? I like druids, don't get me wrong, but that's kind of ridiculous. Now, does that mean nerf them? No, that means buff. That means everybody else deserves a buff. And anybody that's playing a druid that complains about another person's class has no right to speak at the end of the day. Same thing with a hunter. If you're running a hunter and you're talking junk about other classes that's being too strong, you don't have a right to speak. I think doing the wisp thing for rogues so that people can see them at closer levels, I think that was stupid. I think that was literally one of the worst mistakes you made. It's been in the game the entire time that they are just invisible. That's how it should have stayed. I got killed by rogues all the time, and I did not ever complain and say that they need to be made to where you can almost see them at times. I say give the ability. You already had the flare for hunters, so they had the opportunity. You have the demon hunters who can see in the invisible things. Anyways, you have two classes that can see them that can give away their location. Part of a team play. Boom, there you go. That's your answer. You did not have to go and make them almost impossible to stop. Things that are 1% drop or less, put an item in your shop, make it to where it'll increase so that every time you run for that item that you didn't get it, it'll increase. Headless Horseman, every single time you fight him, you did not get it from his thing, you keep fighting him. It's 1% now, it's 2% now, it's 3% now. Those are small gains. It might still take 100 fights to get that mount. But at least it gives me the hope to keep going, because as of right now, I have no hope. I haven't given you a subscription in 6 months because of this. Do you want my subscription back? Find a way to fix the problems that I'm having and stop making it worse. Level Squish is making it worse because now I can't do the raids to go try for the mounts that I haven't been able to get because there's a 0.1% drop. Like, these drop rates are so bad, I don't want to even try. I think it's better to just pick a different game and play something that will let me have something. Like, that's the problem we're having here. Is that you're so busy trying to give to the people who have no lives outside of this game, which I can appreciate, but they're not paying you. I'm paying you. Make me happy. Make those of us who are wanting to pay you a subscription happy. If there are any other casual players in here who are listening to what I have to say and are in agreement with what I have to say, let your voices be heard and say something. There's plenty of YouTubers speaking out saying otherwise, and you guys are definitely hearing them because we can see it. We can see where somebody says, hey, I think that you should make things harder. Boom, it's been made harder. Like, that's ridiculous. Well, World of Warcraft Classic is going over so well, and you see how hard it is. Yeah, if I want it harder, I'll go to World of Warcraft Classic. I've defeated fucking Sargeras, I have defeated Illidan, I have defeated the Lich King. I think it's about time I can start walking around with my junk hanging out, swinging wildly and expecting to kill a bear. I want to feel like a god now. I mean, we're fighting gods. Why can't we feel like gods when we go back and fight the bear? Like, that doesn't... to me, it doesn't make sense that if I go back, everybody's just as strong as I am, or stronger still. Whenever we killed them 2 expansions ago. Let's stop taking away from what we've already accomplished and nerfing and nerfing and nerfing. Make us stronger. People want a challenge? Time Walk. People want a challenge? The latest expansion. People want a challenge? Go to Mythic. Like, you could find a way to make the game harder. Heck, if you feel like your equipment is too good and you're not getting a challenge, why don't you use weaker equipment then? Stop putting on your legendaries that you got day 1. Like, earn it. Go pick a different class. Start from scratch. Build your way back up there. And how about this? Don't do it by just traveling through dungeons. Actually play the game. Sorry, I get a little bit heated. Especially because I did not want to have to leave World of Warcraft behind. But if something doesn't change, like I was in hoping that they would make a third faction. When I heard Taliesin say third faction, I was like, I've been saying that they've needed that for years. There needs to be a third faction, and what would have been just absolutely great would have been to make an entire undead faction. Instead of making it split off to just be a third faction as a whole, let's take the undead from the horde. Let's bring all Death Knights over there. You could have Death Knights in the other one too, but let's make a Death Knight of every single class like a unique thing. Like, I want to see a Death Knight Hunter. Who doesn't want to see a Death Knight Hunter? Like, I want to see Dark Rangers. I really want to see them. Let's put them unique to the third faction, so they have something. You have Paladins for the Alliance. You have Shaman for the Horde. Let's do Dark Rangers for the Undead faction. Why not? A Magic Hunter. I mean, it's not that much different from a Hunter anyways, but let's make it to where they can be like a Death Knight version, where they can be tanky and shoot arrows that gain life. Let's make a Necromancer where they actually resurrect the dead around them and fight with armies, not just as a one-time spell. Like, let's make it where you can actually run around with a cluster of zombies running with you, just like undead, or just like hunters have their pets. Let me have an amalgam running with me, or a Stitches running with me, something that's tanky and dangerous. You know, let's make it where, like, yeah, if 5 of those guys walked into Stormwind, they're going to be tough to kill, but you know what? As a team, y'all can kill me. Y'all can find a way. Let's do that. Let's make, instead of nerfing, let's start making buffs. And let's make it to where, instead of every expansion you nerfed a different class, buff a different class. You know, I don't have a problem with it being, okay, well, as an Ice Mage this week, Ice Mages are popping off. Holy crap, everything they're doing is just freezing things. Then the next week, all of a sudden, Hunters got their buff, and they're able to break the ice pretty good. The next week, we got Warriors that are just breaking through everybody's defenses and just tearing things up because they got their buff. Let's do that. If you feel like one didn't have a strong enough showing, then they can have another week sooner than others when it comes time for the rotation to come back around. Let's not keep nerfing things, okay? There's enough problems with hackers as it is. I've had a level 19 Paladin literally decimate 3 of us at level 80 and a level 90 come in and fought him. And this was at the beginning of Legion. A little level 19 Paladin killed all of us. We're talking about a 60 level gap here, and he just decimated all of us. That's sad. That should never happen. So either you got some armor in there that you need to explain to us, or that was a dev, but I didn't look like a dev to me, not with the name, or there's hackers. And I'm leaning towards hacker. And if there are hackers in the game that are able to do stuff like this, then there needs to be some kind of balancing act. There needs to be something that can make it to where other people have a chance too against stuff like that. Since you can't stop the bots, we know you can't stop the bots because they're still doing their thing. Since you can't stop hackers, we know that's the truth because they're still hackers. How about you make it to where people like me who don't hack, people like me who don't even know how to put a bot in the game, let alone want to do that. I want to play what I got going. How about this, actually? For these people who are doing bots, you know, they're really getting by with this stuff. How about you start making it where there are in-game bots for people to use, where we can actually have our followers that we can, instead of having them follow us, we could pay them resources to have them hunt for us for what we want. That right there, right along, breaks the game. Makes it to where I could actually enjoy this. I don't have a problem paying for it because Headless Horseman mount. If I can't get on that night, I have something else to do, like a party wants to do a raid or something, but I really want to do the Headless Horseman thing, I can pay this guy to go do it. Hell, make it even better. Because he's not me, I can literally pay 5 other head if I wanted to, fight the Headless Horseman myself, and each one of them does it too until I get that mount. It doesn't have to be out of game money, so it doesn't have to be in store, but that could be something that your followers that you always have us collecting on a regular basis, mercenaries or something like that. That could be something we could do, where we could have them do it for us, collect it, bring it, deliver the package to us. We open it up, boom, we got what we was looking for. It gives someone like me who is working all the time, who only gets a very scarce amount of hours a day to get to play, an option to actually accomplish my goals. And it ain't like I have to worry about running out of stuff. Once I'm done collecting stuff, only thing I can do is keep moving forward and finding new things to collect. I set a goal for like 5 or 6 things at a time because that's all I can really do at that time. So I hate to keep talking while there's no action on the screen, so we're going to call it here. We can move forward from this, but honestly, I do want to say I think that is probably one of the best things that just came up off the top of my head. I think the idea of paying for mercenaries to do something would be great. The idea of having NPCs as a whole that we could rent to do dungeons and raids, where I could go and actually buy an avatar of other players to run with me through raids and dungeons that I can't get other players to run with me. Like, I need healers. Okay, fine. If I'm a tank, I want 3 healers. Boom, I buy 3 healers, and then I buy the rest as DPS. Or if I want another tank, I buy a tank to come run with me. Heck, make it other characters. Like, let me take Anduin into a raid with me. I've helped him out enough. Why can't he help me? I'm just saying. I think it would be fun. You talk about wanting to be fun. That would be fun. Getting to run through an actual dungeon with Jaina. She gets hurt too bad to carry on, and I didn't pay for nobody else. She abandons the raid on me. Or else she has to backtrack and come back and catch up later, just like somebody that dies does. Like, give me a chance. Give me something that I can spend my resources in game to make this happen. It's not just handed to me, because I still have to get the gold or the resources needed to pay these guys. Just like I have to do to get them to do the table missions, to go get something random. Let's get something good out of this. Let's make it to where I can get them to run old raids in my place. I can get them to run newer raids with me. So I don't have friends, I make friends, literally, by paying for them. If they're followers that I can collect, I don't have to keep paying them like mercenaries on a regular basis. That's even better. I find them, make it harder for me to find them. Make me earn their trust. You want me to earn something? Boom. Make me earn their trust. Make me defeat them and enslave them if need be, like the warlocks do with their demons. These people belong to me now. They're in my camp. They're my bands of mercenaries and my warriors. And let me carry them over to other expansions. Make that something. You took the weapons away from us, from Legion. And that was something that everybody loved, those weapons. We built those things up. There were so many to collect. I didn't even finish collecting them all because there was such a short time between expansions. I know it seemed like a long time for people who were waiting for the raids, but it was a short time for people who were collectors like me. I didn't even get to get a demon hunter up to 100 because my main was still trying to catch up to everything. But it was already over as fast as it happened. I lost my weapons and everything. Well, you took those from us. You took the legendary ring from the expansion before that. You took the weapon from this one. This next one, the Heart of Azeroth, is basically going to be whatever. And we're going to be doing whole new things. Let's have something that will carry over, that actually means something. These forts that we went through so much trouble to build up, they're just gone. Give us a fortress that'll grow through every expansion. So we don't have to go find a whole new base of operations. We get our own base of operations. Let us take over Undercity. Let us take over a country to be ours. To be our main. Let us become kings and queens in our game. That we can open up our world to other players. And that we can open up to NPCs where we can have our own stuff and we build a town up. It doesn't have to be as big as Stormwind. It just give us something to work with here that we have a reason to come back to every time. I'll talk more. I got more ideas and everything like that. And I would love to hear if any comments, if anybody from Blizzard has even heard any of this stuff. Let me know that you've heard it and you're shutting it down. Let me know that you've heard anything. And to the people who are still listening, thanks for your allegiance and sticking as long as you have, your loyalty, as I should say. And let me know in the comments what you think about what I'm saying. Any ideas sound good? Sound off? Let's let people hear it, especially Blizzard. We want them to hear this. And let's see, I want to hear what you guys think. Give me some comments. And, yeah, and let me know gameplay wise too. You know, I want to hear everything. I am ready for it all. I want to see what kind of community I'm working with here and what other people think and what you think about me. And don't worry about sparing my feelings. I got a hard shell. I can take it. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Peace.